Hey guys, Devin here, Lifetime Preparedness. Before we get started, if you want to show support for the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Share with your friends and family. That way we can get the message preparedness out there. And, like the video, comment afterwards. Love hearing from you guys. Um, so, are we 3 days away from shtf? I've been seeing that a lot. A lot of people are talking about that in forums, and just people that I know that are concerned about it. The concerns that I'm seeing from different people are, obviously in regards to the election, which is 3 days away. On Tuesday, I will be going and casting my vote as well, along with a lot of other Americans. And, a lot of people are concerned that this election is going to bring about, different SHTF events. Some people think it's going to bring about a civil war. Other people think it's going to bring about actually World War III, depending on who wins, and who you support and who you think is going to do what kind of job and what they're going to do if they win or don't win. And um, you know that's those are things that potentially could happen. Now, I think the whole um, what's the I think the whole World War III thing, it's not as probable. I think the Civil War is more probable, though, I'm hoping that we don't have a Civil War. Now, there's a lot of police departments, police departments in cities, and even businesses that are working towards, getting ready for the election, because they're all preparing for riots and civil unrest, just in protest of different people running for president, or even, for when someone is declared the victor and declared that they won the election. People are going to riot. They are going to protest. They are going to destroy things. People are preparing for, how can I put this? I know some places, police departments, and cities are, what's the best way to say this? Preparing for, I don't want to say terrorist attacks. They're preparing for terrorist-like attacks. There have been bomb threats that I have seen that have been made, that have been reported on in other cities, big cities. So take that, with a grain of salt. But, those have been, you know, out there because of this election. And, if certain people win, certain people on the left side, it appears, have made certain threats. I mean, obviously, it's not everyone, but take that with a grain of salt. So, a lot of people are preparing for civil unrest. Cities, police departments, stores. Walmart has taken their guns and ammo off the shelves in most major areas, because of civil unrest and what could possibly come. I know they're worried about people going in, breaking in, stealing the guns, stealing the ammo, and going and shooting people, and that's what they're worried about because they don't want to be held liable. So that I understand. So they're going to go and they're going to, do what they got to do. Businesses are doing what they got to do. Cities are preparing the way they can. Police departments are putting in overtime because they're going to have to deal with these riots and protests, civil unrest. It's going to be what it is. And, the people that are prepared for what comes, they're going to be ready. And the people who aren't are not going to be. It's just simple as that. So, if you're not prepared, do what you can now. If you don't want to, well, you're shit out of luck. You can't do anything about it now, honestly. Now you can, but once the election happens, if you're in an area where there's going to be civil unrest, widespread civil unrest, or riots, or people attacking each other, committing arson, assault, things like that, honestly, there's not going to be much you can do. There's not going to be much you can do, honestly. Get out of the area now. If you can, if you live in a big city, and if you have the money and the means, if you have family that live out of town, live in in the suburbs, or live in another area, or live in the country, ask them if you can stay with them for a few days. Give them some money if you have to, like a hotel, and a reduced rate, and just cheaper than a hotel, and go stay with them for a few days. Stay with them for a week after the election if you can. Take a week off of work if you have to, if you don't feel safe, because you guys know what's going to happen. Regardless of who wins, there is going to be more riots, protests, and just destruction. And most likely that's what's going to happen. I don't want any of this to happen, but just seeing what's happening, there are planned events, there are unplanned events that are going to occur. There's already planned events. That's why, and there's been threats, bomb threats, rioting threats, things like that. So the police and cities are trying to be ready as possible, as well as states. They're trying to be as ready as possible for what could come. And I most states probably have the National Guard ready to go, because it could get bad. So if you live in the cities, try to find some. If you know someone who lives out of state, lives in another city, or smaller city, lives in the suburbs in the country, go stay with them for a week or two if you can, or a few days. If you know someone who lives in the suburbs outside the city and it's like 40 minutes away or an hour away, commute to work. Commute to work if you're still going to work, and go out there and stay with them. Drive that hour to work. It's better than having your family involved in right in the middle of the city where violence is going to occur, where the riots are going to occur. So get your family out, and that's part of being prepared for this. Being out of the cities, do what you can now, guys. If there's any last minute preps you want to get, if live in the suburbs outside of a city, especially, that's where I think the biggest part of it's going to be, in the cities. So outside the suburb, in the suburbs outside the city, or in the city, get what you got now. You can get now, but well, as I said, Walmart and other major stores are taking guns and ammo off the shelves. I assume Dick's is going to follow in suit and do the same thing. So we'll see what happens with that. But I want you guys all to be safe. So go out there, mentally prepare, be ready. Go out and vote, regardless of who you're voting for. Get out there and vote for whoever you want to win. So you guys have a good day. I'll talk to you later. If you want to show support for the channel, go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends and family. That way we can get the message of preparedness out there. I'll talk to you guys later.